All right, what's up, everyone? We are back. We are live. It is Beyond the Spread. It is December 14th, 2023. Christmas is around the corner, arguably the best holiday of the year. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got some headlines to talk about. We got some Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night games to talk about. Yes, I said Saturday because we got college football coming around the corner. We got bowl season, arguably one of the best times of the year with even Christmas. I just said it, but then we got bowls coming up, and we got a lot of NFL going on. The NBA is going on. A lot of stuff happening in the sports world, and we're here for it. We're trying to keep up with it. I'm working a shit ton. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to keep things going. I'm trying to keep things afloat, you know? But we got some headlines we got to talk about, and then we'll get into some picks. I did not do good last week. I went 7-9 in NFL. 7-9 is not good. 7-9 is not good. I'm trying to be above 50. Honestly, if I'm being honest, you and me, I'm trying to be above 60% in all my picks every week. Every week I'm trying to be above 60%. Not only are we making money on that, but it's like a little more profit, you know? We're above 50. We're well above 50. Here we go. Headlines. Shohei Ohtani got the 10-year, $700 million deal. I know I'm a little late to this news, but, I mean, we saw the breakdown. We saw the deal go down. And then, the next day it came out he's going to defer to $2 million a year for, like, the first 4 or 5 years. And then he's getting $68 million a year. How do we feel about that? I mean, it's tax evasion. I love it. It's tax evasion. Good for Shohei Ohtani and whoever his agent is and all those people. Good for them to be like, hey, we know the market is going to crash. If we're being honest, the market is going to crash eventually. We don't know when. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it won't be the market. Maybe it'll be something else. But something's going to happen, and he's going to be like, okay, I'll take my $2 million for the next couple of years, and then when we get things afloat again, money will be right back to where it is, and he'll get the $68 million, But good for Shohei. I mean, he's a Dodger. I'm not a big fan of them. I was hoping there was a rumor he was going to go to Toronto. We saw the Drake picture. Drake posted him in a Ohtani jersey. Yeah, I didn't know where he was going to go, honestly. Dodgers, obviously, San Fran's came out and said that they offered him a similar type of deal. I just don't think Shohei Ohtani wanted to move. I mean, he was an Angel, and then he's going to be a Dodger, so he's probably somewhere in there, he's in the hills maybe. He just doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to move or drive an extra 45 minutes to work. I respect that. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that either. But I mean, moving sucks. So good. Let's just bail it down to that. Let's just say he chose the Dodgers because he didn't want to move to San Fran. He definitely didn't want to go to Canada because their currency is a joke. What, that Looney Tunes money? And then, I mean, he could have gone to East Coast. Yankees maybe offered him, but it probably wasn't a big deal. I thought the Red Sox were going to get him. That was a big one. No one really else was in I mean, I don't know who else. And then we saw the guy from San Diego go to the Yankees. The lefty. He's with the DC. Then he went to the Padres. I forgot his name. That's not even on my headlines. I'm just thinking baseball right now, and it's boring me because baseball is boring. I'm not a baseball guy. Again, I'm a little behind on all these headlines. Oh, we should have started. You know what? Congrats, Shohei, but let's get this one out of the way. We watched a crazy, maybe not crazy, but we watched a shit pumping last night. Someone got their ass kicked. The Raiders beat the shit out of the San Diego Chargers. They lost the title of Los Angeles Chargers last night. They reverted back to San Diego Chargers last night. They fired Brandon Staley, which, good move. I thought they were going to fire him at halftime. Honestly, we saw Richard Sherman talk about it. He said the Chargers should make history and just fire their coach before the half. Don't let him come back on the field. Don't let him come back on the field. Brandon Staley was trying to fight for his job. He did not do a good job. Yeah, I mean, no Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler has been a bum maybe not a bum this year, but he does not look right. You lose Williams. Keenan Allen's the only target. That receiver, that Quentin Johnston, he hasn't turned out to what he was supposed to be. So what do you do with the Chargers? I think you blow it all up. I think you go get I think you go get Bill Belichick. Transition. Bill Belichick is more than likely parting ways um, at the end of the season with the Patriots. Look, just a quick. I'm trying to keep this show tight, but just a quick recap of Bill Belichick. He has been in the league for 30 to 40 years. He's been a part of the NFL for 30 to 40 years. He has the greatest dynasty ever. He tried to do it again with Mac Jones. It's not working. Back-to-back losing seasons, not good. He's tanking so well for Robert Kraft to get them a number one pick or a franchise quarterback. So it's like Robert Kraft probably came to him like, hey, can you just suck? Look, you're not going to be here next year. We know you're not going to be here next year. They might trade him. They might trade him away for draft picks. There is that possibility. But they're tanking. They're going to get like at least a top 3 draft pick if it keeps going the way it is. So shout out Bill Belichick. LA is a destination for him now that Brandon Staley's gone. DC is in a position for him. Chicago, maybe, depending on the Jim Harbaugh situation. I mean, who wouldn't want Bill Belichick in their office as a head coach? Who wouldn't want? What team wouldn't want it? I mean, you could say maybe the Panthers. Frank Reich's out. Does he go to Vegas? Does he go to Vegas? I doubt it. But, maybe. It would be dumb not to go get Bill Belichick. I'm happy with Sean Payton. I love Sean Payton. You can see the effects of his, mastermind finally coming into play now that we won, 6 out of 7? So, yeah. The NFL announced that there's going to be a game in Brazil next year, Dominic Toretto territory. That's pretty cool. I mean, players are going to have a lot of fun down there. It's freaking Brazil. I would want to know, when they travel internationally, I want to know when it comes out their travel plans, the Bills this year when they went to Germany, they left 48 hours before. Just get over there and get acclimated. So it'll be interesting what they do with that. That's cool though. I mean, NFL's growing. We know it's huge here. It is the number one sport here. And when it goes over to Germany or London, the stadiums are sold out. So it'll be interesting to see because there was a game in Mexico last year that sold out. So when they go down to Brazil, I don't want to talk bad on Brazil, but I mean, it's maybe not the safest country, but I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see. College football news. Just one little headline. It's just a transfer. The quarterback, Riley Leonard, is transferring to Notre Dame. Kind of a lateral move, in my opinion. He's a better athlete than that guy that was there. I forgot his name because Notre Dame fucked me out of so much money this year. But I mean, that's kind of cool. Good for Riley Leonard. Little basketball talk. Lakers won the in-season tournament. That's cool. Apparently, they're raising a banner. It just can't be. It can't be a championship-sized banner. Maybe just kind of put it in the rafters, on the other side, or don't put it anywhere near the retired jerseys or the championship banners. That'll look cheesy. Kind of put it in its own little spot, oh hey, end season tournament, nice, you guys won the first one. It's cool. I mean, I'm happy for all the players that don't play and they're on minimum contracts. So I mean, they got paid. That's kind of cool. Draymond motherfucking Green. If you missed it, he basically threw a hook on Yusuf Nurkic the other night against the Suns. Draymond was backing him down. Nurkic was just had his arm and he had his forearm against Draymond's back, and Draymond was trying to flop, and he wasn't getting the call, and so he turns around and just throws a hook at him. I mean, it wasn't a true hook, but it looked enough like a hook to oh, you just fucking punched someone. So he's suspended indefinitely. The NBA came out. He's got to work his way back, essentially. I don't know what we want to do with Draymond. What do we want to do with Draymond? He is old. He's still he could still do some stuff. He's still defense. He's still an assist machine. He's not going to give you buckets anymore. And then, let's just face it. That Warriors team is falling slowly, but it's falling. You're going to keep Steph until he can't go anymore. Klay turned down a 2-year, $48 million contract at the beginning of the season, so there's no contract at the table for Klay right now. Klay's been kind of iffy. He's hot, but when he's off, he's super off for multiple games. And Draymond, I mean, he can't stop getting suspended. He's addicted to get suspending. He has the second most suspensions in NBA history. I think Rasheed Wallace has 20 something or maybe 30. Draymond's got 17. He's suspended indefinitely. We don't know if he's coming back this year. It just blows me away. I thought it was gonna be like 15 to like. I thought 15 on the low end for suspension of games. On the high end, I thought like maybe like 30. But then they came out like I was thinking about it, and then like the news came across my phone. It was like Draymond suspended indefinitely. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's basically all the headlines. Again, the Brandon Staley news dropped today. It came out. I was at the gym and it came out. And I was like, oh, good move. Good move. You are now. Is it a demotion? Is it a demotion if you go back to San Diego Chargers? If I reference you as the San Diego Chargers, is that a demotion? In my head, yes, because you haven't proven anything in either San Diego or LA. They're the San Diego Chargers again. Let's talk some games. Again, I'm going to try to keep this tight. We got games on Saturday with college football. We got games Sunday morning, some good Sunday afternoon games. We got Sunday night football and one Monday night football game. Let's get into it. Again, I went 7-9 last week. Not happy about it. We're going to be better. We're going to be above 500 this week. I'm feeling good this week. Let's get into it. Vikings, so Saturday, first game, Vikings at Bengals. Bengals are -3. Vikings are playing their third string quarterback. That Vikings defense is good, and they have some guys around defense. Justin Jefferson, probably not going to play. I'd be shocked if Justin Jefferson comes back this year at all. It's just a chalk year for him. It's like, let's get Kirk back, or let's go get a quarterback, something. Jake Browning's kind of fighting for the Bengals to make a playoff run. I don't think it's going to happen, but just because the Bengals are at home, and it's only 3 points. I mean, Jake Browning whooped that ass last week against whoever they played. I forgot who they played. Let's look real quick. Who did they play last week? My memory is terrible. So, Bengals. They beat the shit out of the Colts last week. So, is this a little bit of a recency bias kind of pick? Absolutely. But the Bengals at home, I think they'll be good. Bengals -3. Steelers at Colts. Kenny Pickett is out for a while. He has some broken ribs. He's been playing okay. We're getting Mitch Trubisky. Now, we saw Mitch Trubisky last week. He did not do good. It was an ugly game. I think the Colts, they just got the shit pumped out of them last week against the Bengals on the road. Colts at home. Mitch Trubisky, maybe he can play better in a dome, but we're just going to take the Colts at home -1.5. I like that a lot. This game makes me nervous. This next game makes me nervous because I am a Broncos fan. They're going on the road to the Lions. Lions kind of need to get back on track. This is why I'm a little nervous. Lions need to get back on track. Jared Goff has not looked good the last couple of weeks. That defense has not looked good the last couple of weeks for the Lions. They're 4.5-point favorites at home. Broncos really need a win. That's where I'm at. The Broncos offense has been kind of clicking. Russell Wilson throwing for what? 200 yards maybe, max a game. They're getting up and down the field. Their defense is actually clicking. Shout out Vance Joseph. After he got embarrassed by the Dolphins, he's kind of put shit together again. I'm just nervous about taking the Broncos plus the 4.5 because the Lions do need to get back on track. But Broncos haven't really got their shit pushed in since the Miami game. They've always kept it within a certain number. 4.5 is screaming it's going to be a close game. I think the Broncos, I don't know if they win this game, but they keep it within a field goal. They're not going to get blown out. They're going to be in the game. Russ is going to have the game. We're going to run the ball. We're going to control the ball. We're going to get the ball to Courtland Sutton. Jerry Jeudy's going to catch a touchdown. Unlike last week when he had 3 yards to work with and just couldn't get his feet down. Absolute sickening. All right, Sunday. Bears at Browns. I've been wrong about the Bears so much this year that I don't know what to do with this game. The Browns, have been playing good football. They've been playing good football. Joe Flacco? You kidding me? The guy's 38 and he's throwing bombs still. Can the Browns defense hold up? Absolutely. Not even worried about it. Not even worried about it. The Bears, on the other hand, can they do something? Can they make a little bit of a run? They were in the hunt graphic last week for like they were the last seed, but they were in the hunt. They were in the hunt. I think the Browns need to win this game. I think at home we're going to see a bad Justin Fields game, unfortunately. It makes me sick to say that because I do think the guy's talented. I think he should come to Denver. Sean Payton, maybe. I think he can do it, but we'll figure it out. But he'll figure it out. I won't figure it out. Justin Fields will figure it out. We're going to go the Browns -3. I like it. Home. Joe Flacco's kind of a guy still. I can't believe I'm riding Joe Flacco in this situation. If it was any other quarterback, maybe even Deshaun Watson, I would probably take the Bears in this. But Joe Flacco, there's a little bit of a spark right there. Bucks at Packers. Packers are -3.5. The Bucks theoretically could still win the South. They could still win that their division. The Packers got embarrassed last week by the Giants and Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito, huh? I think the Packers get right. I was wrong about the Bucks last week. They went into Atlanta and beat them on a game-winning drive. It's going to come down to that kind of situation again, but it's in Green Bay. I know Baker was playing in Cleveland for a while, so he's used to the cold. These Tampa boys are not ready for Green Bay cold. I'm going Packers -3.5. Texans at Titans. No CJ Stroud more than likely. Tank Dell's done for the year. I think the Texans are like, hey, we got our team for the future. We got a quarterback for the future. Okay, let's shut it down. Let's just kind of get through the rest of the season, maybe get an okay draft pick, and we'll be good. Titans got something to prove. They won last week against the Dolphins, which was miraculous. I mean, Will Levis, kind of a guy. He's growing on me. I don't know if he's the guy, but he's kind of a guy. He's guy adjacent. He has aspirations to be the guy, rightfully so. But I think the Titans run the ball down the Texans' throat, air it out to D-Hop. D-Hop's going to have at least two. Nah, I'm not going to say two. He's going to have a tutty. We're going to go Judy and D-Hop anytime touchdown scorers. And maybe a little Derrick Henry, a little D. Henry. I think that here's the downside of this pick. I think the Titans have the highest of highs when they win last week, but when they win, they have the lowest of lows. That's what makes me nervous. Can the Texans go in there and win? Probably not, but can they keep it close? Yeah, kind of. But I think the Titans at home, I think the Titans fans are starting to rally around this team and be like, hey, we're actually not that bad. We're going to be okay next year and the year after that if Will Levis continues to perform like he did last week. That's the thing. Jets at Dolphins. We saw this game on Thanksgiving. This was in New York last time. The Dolphins, what do we want to say about the Dolphins? Tua has not looked good. Tyreek is kind of injured. I think he'll be okay this week. Jets. Zach Wilson looked good last week. I'll admit it. Zach Wilson looked good last week. He kind of performed. They kind of put a shit pumping on whoever the fuck they played last week. The Texans. I had the Texans last week. The Dolphins need to get right. They have not looked good against good teams. That defense is starting to fall apart. Tua has just not been playing good ball. Not good ball. Which gives me the formula of saying Tua's going to play good ball this week. I think they're going to absolutely run them over. I think they're going to put up 40 points on the Jets. And the Jets are going to score maybe 21, maybe. I think the 9.5. I think they get the 9.5. This is a future remember this pick kind of thing. I've been riding the Dolphins every time, and they have been screwing me every time. So this is my last time taking them in a big spread like this. They were 13-point favorites last week against the Titans. And that's at home, too. At home. And the Titans went in there and won. They win and won. Dolphins, I will remember this pick. if you screw me over, excuse my language, if you screw me over, I'll remember this. Chiefs at Patriots. We talked about it earlier. Bill Belichick is tanking perfectly. Okay? He's taking perfectly. We don't know who's playing. Is Bailey Zappi going to start? I'm guessing he's starting because he had an okay game last week. No Mac Jones. Is Ramondre Stevenson back? I have no idea. The Chiefs, they've had so many drops this year. I'm not counting them out, but I will stand by my prediction that I said earlier this year. They're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. They're not winning the Super Bowl this year. I said it weeks ago. And that might piss some people off. They might have some futures on the Chiefs. They might have some money on the Chiefs, you know? They're not winning the Super Bowl this year. They might make it there, but man, they have to end the season on a pretty good schedule, easy schedule. But when they get in the playoffs, these drops, these Kadarius Toney plays, which was a fantastic play by Travis Kelce. The dude was crazy to throw that backwards to Kadarius Toney. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I don't know what to do with this game. Part of me wants to be like, the Chiefs are going to get back on track. But I've been saying that for a while now. 8.5, I think, is too much for this Kansas City Chiefs right now. I'm taking the Patriots plus the 8. Plus the 8. Do the Chiefs win still? I think so. Do the Patriots keep it close? They might. They just might keep it close. Giants at Saints. I don't care about this game at all. The Saints, I had high hopes for the Saints this year. They have the easiest schedule and the most dynamic offense. They have Kamara. They had Michael Thomas, who got hurt again. They got Chris Olave. I mean, they should not be in this position. They should be easily winning this division right now. And the Giants. 1-3 straight with Tommy DeVito, huh? The fucking chicken. You see that video on Twitter, the chicken cutlets, you know? He's getting the chicken cutlets going. Saints are -6. I hate that. I hate it. And I'm tired of watching them. They don't know. Derek Carr doesn't know how to throw the ball more than 8 yards. When he does unload it, it's not even close. Out of pure spite, I'm taking the Giants. +6. I'm not taking them to win outright. I'm taking them +6. I still think they lose this game. This feels like a push to me. This one's going to push. Giants are going to cover the 6, and I'm going to get my money right back in my account. It's annoying. Falcons at Panthers, don't care. Panthers are terrible, the worst team in the league. No Frank Reich anymore. Bryce Young hasn't really taken that next step, and I've been saying it from the beginning of the year that Bryce Young was going to be the guy. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I would give him another year for sure because he's a first-round draft pick, and he's crazy dynamic. I just think you got to get the right guy with him. The right guy, not Bill Belichick. You need an offensive guru with Bryce Young. I'm going Falcons. I don't feel comfortable about it. Falcons -3. Falcons -3. Yeah, I don't feel good about it. It makes me sick, honestly, because the Falcons are not good. They're frisky. They're probably going to win the division. They're going to have a home playoff game. Whatever. Afternoon games. We got a couple good ones. Yeah, it's a pretty good slate this week. It's not amazing, but it's a pretty good slate. Commanders at Rams. The Rams are -6.5. The Rams are kind of turning the corner. They kept it close with the Ravens in Baltimore last week in that ugly, muddy, rainy game. The Commanders, I mean, you're going up against Aaron Donald, and the Commanders have given up, 40 sacks this year? Sam Howell's on track to have the most sacks ever on a QB. It's like 96. He's on track to be at 96 sacks. It's disgusting, absolutely vile, but 6.5 at home. The Rams, they don't really have a running game right now. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. I'm just gonna take the Rams -6.5. Do I like it? No, because the Commanders had a bye week last week. They're coming off their bye. They're gonna bring a little bit of juice with it. Okay, they're gonna bring a little bit of juice, but. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with that one. I don't love that pick, but I think the Rams are gonna win regardless. That's my pick. Um, but a touchdown. They win by a touchdown. Let's go. Let's go Cooper Cup. Anytime, Tutty. 49ers at Cardinals. San Fran -12. San Fran, anytime I've seen a line like this, they always cover it. At least San Fran does, not the fucking Dolphins. Dolphins never cover the big spreads. We're going to go 49ers -12. Who knows what's going to happen with Kyler Murray this year? He's been playing okay ball after coming back off the ACL. Are they going to keep Kyler around? Or are they going to try to move him off somewhere? Who knows? Who knows? But San Fran, Super Bowl contender, absolute fucking juggernaut of a team. I mean, you got weapons everywhere on offense. You got fucking weapons on defense. I don't know if you consider defensive players weapons, but I mean, they're just so freaking good. They're so good. They beat the shit out of the Eagles last week, and it wasn't even close. I mean, that third quarter came around. You're like, whoa, this got out of hand really quick. Cowboys at Bills. Arguably the best game in my mind of the weekend. We have some good ones, sprinkled through the entire day on Saturday and Sunday. But when this game comes on, it is going to be the best game because this will show us where both teams are at. Because the Bills, they're 7-6, something like that. They need to win. They need to win out to get in the playoffs. They could win the division still because the Dolphins have been slipping slowly. They've been playing good ball lately. It's in Buffalo. But then you turn around and you look, this Dallas team is pretty legit. I will say when they get into the playoffs, they start to choke. And they kind of they've been blocking out the noise all year. I respect that because I think last year got to them a little bit. Micah Parsons been balling out. CeeDee Lamb's been going crazy. I'm not going to take any time touchdown score on this one. I'm going to go Bills. I'm going Bills. Bills, maybe a little Dalton. Actually, you know what? Kincaid. We'll go Kincaid on anytime touchdown. I think the Bills are going to win this. I really, really do. I think going into Buffalo, Dallas isn't ready for the cold. I know it's an afternoon game, but it's going to get that sun's going to go down quick. I think the Dallas is going to have to try to run the ball. I know that Bills defense, that secondary is kind of beat up. If the Cowboys go in and win this game, I will officially, in my mind, anoint them as a Super Bowl contender. They're right there on the edge for me, honestly. I think they're on the edge. I think they have a chance of winning the Super Bowl. Like it's like hey, if things go your way, if they go in and win this game, I will anoint them officially. They could win any game, anywhere, anytime. That kind of thing. I'm going Bills the -2 though. Okay. The Bills need to win. The Cowboys, they're like, we're kind of cruised through. We beat the shit out of the Eagles they beat the shit out of the Eagles last week. Oh no, they beat the Cowboys. Yeah, they beat the Eagles. That was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was the 49ers. Sorry. Eagles are kind of, they're coming down to earth. Sunday Night Football. Ravens at Jags. Baltimore -3.5. I'm going to go Ravens just because I think the Jags kind of hit their peak a couple weeks ago. Trevor Lawrence might be 100%, but I doubt it. I think the Ravens are Super Bowl contenders. I think they're above the Cowboys in that respect. Jags, what do you want to say about the Jags? They're good. No Christian Kirk anymore. That hurts my fantasy team, actually. The Jags, I mean, they're good when they're good, but when they're bad, they carry the bad over to week. They don't carry the good over week to week. They have highlights of good, but when you go bad, it carries over to another bad week. They've been so up and down. You can see it. You can kind of feel it. Here's what I'll say. You can kind of feel that the Jags are definitely, they've built something there, but it's not to the level that they want to be at yet. Does that make sense? Kind of. They will, I'll say a fucking crazy take. They'll win a Super Bowl or be in a Super Bowl within the next 3 to 4 years. Next 3 to 4 years, the Jags will be in a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's crazy because they do have a franchise quarterback and a crazy offense. And, Doug Peterson is pretty good at his job and that defense is pretty good. I'll say I'm going to sit on 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years, I could see them being in a Super Bowl. Will they win it? maybe, but they could be in the Super Bowl. 3 to 4 years, right there. Then we got Monday Night Football, Eagles at Seahawks. There was a crazy report that came out today that the Eagles had a player. This might be fake. This might be fake news. Okay, just putting that out there. Subject to warning, this might be fake news. That the Eagles had a players-only meeting, and then A.J. Brown went to the head coach. His name's, I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. Went to the head coach and was like, "Hey, Jalen needs to work on not fumbling the ball." A.J. Brown went and said that. So, again, I don't think that happened, but if it did, then there was a video that came out of Jalen, like, working on falling to the ground and holding onto the ball. That's literally what he was doing. He was holding on the ball and just falling to the ground. Get up, fall to the ground, holding onto the ball. So, I don't know if any of that's true, okay? I don't know if any of that's true. But, nevertheless, I saw another stat, a real stat, that the Seahawks are like 15-0 against the Eagles in the last like 10 years. Every time they've played, they're like 15-0 against the Eagles. Which makes me when these are the stats that I look for. This is the stuff that I look for beyond the spread kind of stuff. The records against these teams. Do they make it? I forgot what the stat was, but it's some crazy 15-0 stat against the Eagles. Is it because they're going across the country, or Eagles are traveling across the country against Seattle? But even when they go to Philly, they win. The Eagles need to get right, though, and the Seahawks are not that good. I can't believe I'm falling into the fucking trap. I just said the stat, too. I'm going the Eagles. Seahawks are -3. Let me double check. That line real quick. NFL, Monday Night Football. Philly's -3. Philly is -3. Yeah, we'll do that. Eagles -3. I just said the stat. The Seahawks are like undefeated, like 15-16-0 against the Eagles every time they've played in the last like 10 years. Yeah, I don't like that. But hey, we got Judy, we got D-Hop, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, and Dalton Kincaid anytime touchdown scorers. The one I'm worried about the most is D-Hop and Cooper Kupp. I think Kincaid might get one this week. I really do. D-Hop and Cooper. But, that's why we play. That's why we win. That's why we gamble. That's why we look at these things. We're here. We're back. That's it. Quick 30-minute show, just picks left and right. We talked about some headlines. We're here. We're ready to go. Let's have a great weekend. College football, when college football disappears for those 3 weeks, 2 weeks after conference championship week and all that kind of stuff, and the playoff comes out, I'm super excited for college football bowl season. I am going to the Texas-Washington game, CFP game. It's going to be a fucking blast. I am pumped. We'll talk about that a little more when it gets closer to it. What kind of shit I'm going to do. Maybe a little selfish, but, we're going to have a good time when we're down there. You best believe we're going to have a good time when we're down there. All right. Catch you on the next one.